Hello, it's Stuart Strop with the EV practice at JD Power. EVC Monthly Pulse is our upper funnel EV purchase consideration report. This gives us feedback from over 2,000 U.S. new vehicle shoppers each month. May Monthly Pulse is out and shows us that 27% of shoppers are very likely to consider an EV in the next 12 months. So that's up about a 1.5 over April. Shopper sentiment has really kind of been oscillating back and forth in recent months, particularly in terms of the ratios shifting between the very and the somewhat response options on both the considerer and the rejector sides alike. And in May, what we really saw was that sentiment kind of moving back out from the middle toward the polls, with the very likely and the very unlikely response options both increasing. It's really worth noting that the increase for very likely, which went up a 1.5, it's not only the biggest increase that we saw across the four response options in May, it's actually the biggest increase we've seen for very likely since January. And while the somewhat likely response option slipped about 0.3 in May, it's a fraction of the decline that we saw on the somewhat unlikely side, which went over 2 points downward. So at 23.6 points, that gap between overall likelihood and overall unlikelihood, it's actually the widest that we have seen yet this year. So EV purchase consideration does seem to be on the up and up at this point. But I think you can argue the big news in May is really at the model level, particularly with the study debut of Honda Prologue, which came in #1 in the industry. So like we've seen with some other EVs from these perennial mass market brands, Prologue is getting just a ton of upper funnel consideration because of how many loyal Honda owners and fans there are out there across the new vehicle shopper population. People who are interested in an EV from Honda because it's an EV from Honda. And we actually see that in the Y-Buy data that we have in the study. Prologue dealt some heavy blows to a laundry list of competitors in terms of drops in consideration ratios. Models like Toyota BZ4X, which for some time now really has been performing in that #1 spot. Also, the Nissan Ariya, the Subaru Solterra, Hyundai Kona Electric, and Kia EV6, among others. Toyota BZ4X in particular really felt the impact, dropped over 8 points in consideration month over month, far and away the biggest decline that we saw in May. And another contributing factor is we also introduced or debuted its bigger sibling, the Toyota BZ5X, which came in 10th overall. But Prologue may not stay at the top for long because we're debuting its premium sibling, the Acura ZDX, next month in June, along with the VW ID Buzz, by the way. So keep an eye out for those results next month. In between, we're releasing the 023 EVC annual deep dive report in mid-June, where we're going to be taking a broader and deeper look at how EV purchase consideration has evolved on a year-over-year basis across all kinds of data points like current vehicle ownership, vehicle experience, access to charging, demographics, macroeconomic factors, EV rejection, and more. So look out for that too. Thank you. We will see you again very soon.